Hello everyone, in this video we're gonna see how much time it's gonna take me to swap the bearings for this frame behind me without any special tools. As we are already at the bench, let's get to work. So here we have everything we're gonna need. To remove the bearings, I'm gonna use these sockets and these long bolts here with these washers. I also have prepared two spanners and this ratchet with these two sockets here. When we remove them, I would like to clean the insides with some alcohol. Here we have the new bearings, and I also put some lube on the new bearings so they go in easier. So yeah, let's get to work. First, I'm gonna start by removing all the bearings, and then I'm gonna insert the new ones. Okay, first, for this bigger bearing here, I will need a bigger socket. A socket that fits over here and the bearing can go in. So for this, let's remove this bolt from here. Then slide this over. So on one side, I'm gonna use the spanner to hold the bolt, and on the other side, I'm gonna use the ratchet to tighten it. One bearing's out. Let's do the same here. And that is it. Simple as that. Second bearing is out. Okay, for these smaller bearings, we're gonna use a smaller socket. Again, the same bolt, but also a smaller spacer. So we're gonna put the bolt in. First, actually, I'm gonna put this washer here. I'm gonna put the bolt, drive this through. Then, actually, we might go with the bigger spacer. Let's see. Might be actually okay. Yeah. Then I need my nut. Okay. Now I'm gonna hold this on this side and I'm gonna tighten here. So this will push the bearing out. Then here we have the other bearing out. Okay, I'm gonna repeat the same for the rest and continue from there. Okay, now I'm gonna use the isopropyl alcohol to clean the place where the bearing sits, so that we can remove any dust or anything else. You see how much dirt was in there, so the new bearing slide in easily. I'm also going to use this screwdriver just to try and remove anything else remaining on the inside where the bearing sits, so that it can go as flush as possible. You see there is all this amount of dirt on the edge here that will prevent the bearing to go in fully. And in the end, your frame might get loose after a bunch of riding. Okay, I think this will be as clean as I can get it. So it's time to put the bearings back in. For the smaller ones, I'm gonna start with this Allen bolt and this big washer, so I make sure that they start going evenly on both sides, and then probably I'm gonna finish them off with a socket that matches the size of the bearing. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I have my big washer, then I'm gonna put the bearing and gonna put the washer on the other side, thread in the bolt, it's pretty much even on all sides. I'm gonna slowly start tightening this end. And that is most of the way in. So now I'm just gonna get a bolt, a socket that also goes in the frame as well, where the bearing sits. Put the bolt through the socket, then through the bearing, then use the washer on the other side, and also I need to find my little nut. Tighten everything up, center the socket over the bearing, use the appropriate spanner and socket here, make sure everything is center, and start tightening it slowly. So now we have one nice new bearing inside. Oh, and it's so smooth. Let me now show you how I'm gonna do this for the bigger bearing. It is basically the same process, but again using a different size socket. Here I have a 15mm socket. As you can see, it goes in smoothly. It also fits well over the bearing. Again, I have my Allen bolt. Gonna put this in here, then add the washer and the bolt, tighten everything up, make sure everything is aligned, and I think it is. And this one goes in even smoother than the last one. So now I'm gonna finish it off with the socket. Align everything in. Make sure everything is centered. Put the two spanners on. And tighten everything. When you feel a slight tension, you are ready. Oh, this bearing is so smooth, you cannot even hear it. Whereas probably these ones, you can probably hear a bit of grinding noise. Okay, I'm gonna do the same for the rest of the bearings and catch you after that. What a satisfying little project this was. In just 15-20 minutes I managed to change the bearings on this frame without using any special tools, just a few sockets and bolts. That was pretty easy. So we're almost ready to start putting this bike back together. There are only two things remaining. I have to service the forks that I prepared for this bike and also the brakes. But I'll be covering this in a future video. So if you'll be interested in that, please stay tuned. Until then, I think this will be it for this video. As always, all of you, please wear at least a helmet, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!